All right, welcome to this tutorial on Moodle. I have retired from teaching, but one of the guys I used to teach with wanted me to go over a couple things I used to do in Moodle. So this is his introduction to philosophy class, and we need to reset it because it's a new semester. So the first thing we're going to do is come down to administration on your left. And if you wanted to back this up to, get the grades or whatever the kids did, you would click here. Now we are going to restore. Restore would mean to, once you backed it up and you wanted to restore it, you would upload that file. We're going to reset it. So let's hit reset. All right, so now we can decide what we want to get rid of. I'm going to just hit expand all to see everything. So we probably don't have to do this, but I will. Delete all local assignments. So unroll users, we're just going to do student. So he stays in there. Delete all of these. And delete all groups because we're going to make new ones. And we'll delete all posts. And that should be enough. Once you remove the students, that's really all you need to do. All right, so we're going to hit reset course. And then it's telling us what we're doing. We're unenrolling as 18 students, deleting groups, deleting posts. Now let's hit continue. All right, now if we want to see who's in this class, we're going to come over to administration users. We're going to go to enrolled users. Okay, so it's just him and I. That's what we want. Now, let's say we need to make a group. So we're going to come over on the left here and go to groups. Now he won't have to do this because there's only one section of philosophy, but I know, for example, he has world history and he has multiple classes. So we're going to go to create group. We could say Ross, third hour. And then really the enrollment key is what you have to pay attention to. So when the kids come here, you could just have them put 3 if you wanted to let them know that this is for the third hour. But that's just going to make it easier for them to enroll in the right class. You can hit save changes. Now we have that third hour. Now if you did need to move kids around into the hours, if their classes get switched, you would just come to add or remove user. And then any kids in any of your classes would show up here. And then you would just click on them and hit add to that group if you needed to do it manually. All right, let's go back to the main page and let's go to, if you needed to do something to change this, you'd go to edit settings. And if you wanted to change the topics, the appearance, and then this is where he would decide. So in his philosophy, he doesn't really need groups. If he was going to do this with another class, he would have separate groups. None of that really matters. And yeah, we don't need groups. Save and display. The other one is that we'll need to know is the enrollment methods. This is very important when you set up your class and you want kids to join. So typically we want them to do self-enrollment because manual enrollment's more difficult. So if we're going to want to change that, we're going to go to self-enrollment student and click on this gear to edit it. And this is the enrollment key. Okay, so right now I just have Ross. So Brian, when your kids are enrolling for this, the enrollment key they'll put is just Ross. And that's, if you wanted to change that, that's where you would do that. And you want to make sure this is visible. We can get rid of this one, so we'll just delete that. But if you hit that I, then they can't see it. So you want to make sure you have it unclicked and they can see it. And the last thing you might need to do is add students. And Brian or any other teacher that might need to use this, you might need to be an administrator to do this because you might not see site administration. So if that's the case, you'll need to get a hold of Laura and have her change what you are in Moodle. So site administration, users, accounts, browse list of users. So again, site, users, account, browse list of users. And this is, all the students in Greenville. So if I wanted to find, let's say Landon Walkington couldn't get into his class, I would come here and I would come to the gear to edit it. And then, if he knows what his password is, I could put that in. But if he doesn't, I could just give him a generic password and then he could log into his Moodle. So if you have that issue, you can try putting in what they say it is. Otherwise, you can just give them a different one. And now if a new student comes in, and I'm going to remove him, so I'll click on that and hit remove selected. Now I have all the kids again. So let's say a new user comes in, a new kid. I'm going to go add new user. And then I'll talk to the kid, and whatever their school Gmail is, I'll put it in here. And whatever their school Gmail password is, I'll put it in here so it matches. First name, last name, email address. That's all you have to do. And hit create user. So that is how you would add people. And, here's our social studies. So if you did ever want to add a new class, you would just go to add a new course. Put in the name. This doesn't really matter, but you got to put something. And, this is where you would set up, you want a weekly, topics, interactive, how many sections, the appearance and everything you can do to kind of customize each class. All right, so I think that is it. Hopefully that helps anyone understand kind of how to set up and navigate Moodle when you use it for a class.